Hello again everyone, welcome back to the second session. So according to our schedule, we are going to learn about grammar Galaxy 1 and we are still in unit 6, I work with flowers, and in this lesson we specifically focus on simple present. So yesterday you learned about the simple present. When do we use don't, when do we use doesn't, when should we add s, when should we add es, and today we are going to learn more and we are going to do more exercises so that you can understand specifically and clearly about simple present. So let's begin. So today we are going to learn about simple present, third person singular verbs. So let's go to our first point. So like I told you yesterday, most verbs when we use with third person singular like he, she, it, or one person, or one thing, or one animal, we have to add as. Most verbs add as. Example, the word fall becomes falls. We have to add as here. Example, he falls from the building. So because our subject he is third person singular, that's why we have to add as to the word falls. Okay, so he falls from the building. Next, open becomes opens. Example, he opens the door. So if I use the subject I open the door, I don't need to add as. You open the door. But when we use a third person singular subject like he, she, it, you have to add as. He opens the door. If you don't add as, it is wrong. Okay, like the word love, we add as become loves. Example, I love you, you don't need to add as. But when we use the subject he loves you, we have to add as. She loves you. Okay, and the word stay, we add as become stays. Example, he stays in a hotel. He stays in a hotel, so we have to add as. So again, most verbs when we use with third person singular, we have to add as. Like the word fall, falls. Open, opens. Love, loves. Stay, stays. Like, likes. Eat, eats. Okay, run, runs. Walk, walks. Jump, jumps. Sing, sings. Dance, dances. Write, writes. Okay, so most verbs we have to add as, but some verbs we don't need to add as, we have to add es. Example, the verb that ends with letter s, the verb that ends with letter ch, the verb that ends with letter sh, and the verb that ends with letter x. Example, so when the verb ends with s, ch, sh, or x, we have to add it as. Example, the word pass, so pass, so it ends with letter s, so we cannot add s, we have to add es. Example, pass, passes. Example, I passed the exam, so I don't need to add es because the subject I. But when we use the third person singular subject like the word he, she, it, we have to add es. Example, she passes the exam, he passes the exam. Okay, because it ends with letter s, we have to add es. If you don't add, it is wrong. And the verb that ends with letter ch, like the word teach. Example, he teaches English, she teaches English, my father teaches English. We have to add es because it ends with letter ch when we use with third person singular subject. How about the word that ends with letter sh, like example, the word brush. So my little brother brushes his teeth. Okay, we have to add sh because the subject is third person singular. How about the verb that ends with letter x? Example, the word mix, you mixing together. So when we use example, the subject she mixes the ingredients together. So again, most verbs we have to add s, but some verbs, especially the verb that ends with letter s, the verb that ends with letter ch, sh, and x, we have to add es. Pass, passes. Teach, teaches. Brush, brushes. Mix, mixes. Fix, fixes. Okay, crush, crushes. Smash, smashes. Okay, the word that ends with letter s, ch, sh, and x, you have to add es when you use with third person singular subject. How about the verb that ends with consonant plus y? Because some verbs end with consonant plus y. Example, the word try, the word cry, the word fly. We have to change y, we have to delete y, and then we have to add ies. Example, the word try, which we erase y and then we add res. So he tries to study hard. Also the word cry we have to erase y and add res. Example, she cries a lot. And the word fly, example, he flies to America. So when we use with third person singular and the verb ends with consonant plus y, we have to change y to ies. How about the verb that ends with vowel plus y? We don't need to change anything, we only need to add s. Example, the word stay, stay. So a here is a vowel and y here is a y. So vowel plus y, we don't need to change y to is, we just add s. But if this is a consonant like the word here, tryr, here is a consonant, so we have to erase y and we change y to ies. So try become tries, cry become cries, fly become flies. Okay, and the last one, irregular verbs. Some verbs you don't need to add anything, but you have to change the whole word. Example, the word do become does. Example, I do homework. But when we use the third person singular subject like he does homework, you cannot say he do homework. If you say he do homework, it is wrong. She do homework, it is wrong. She does homework, he does homework. So do it become does. Also the word go. I go home, but he goes home. He goes home, she goes home. Okay? And the word have, it become has. I have a lot of money. He has a lot of money. She has a lot of money. We have a lot of money. Here we did have, not have. Have, this one has. I have a lot of money. She has a lot of money. He has a lot of money. So we change from have to has. So before we go to the example, let me remind you again, for the simple present or present simple that is about third person singular, most verbs we have to add as. Example, the word fall become falls, stand becomes stands, sit becomes sits. Okay, eat become eats, love become loves, stay becomes stays. We just add as. Work, I work become she works, we add as. But some verbs we have to add as, especially the verb that end with s, ch, sh and x. Pass, passes, teach, teaches, brush, brushes, makes, makes. Okay, next, and then the consonant plus y. The consonant plus y, we have to change y to ies, like the word try become tries, cry become cries, fly become flies. And then irregular verb do become does, go become goes, and have become has. But one more thing that you have to remember is that all of these rules only available in the affirmative sentence. Only in the affirmative sentence, not in negative, not in question. Okay, example, you say I have a lot of money. So when we use he has a lot of money. But in negative form, I don't have money. But when you use he doesn't have, not he doesn't has. So I told you he, she, it, we have to use with has, right? But only in the affirmative form. All of these rules only in the affirmative form. But in the negative form, you cannot say he doesn't has. Wrong. You have to say he doesn't have. She doesn't have. So in affirmative, he, she, it, we use with has. But in negative, he, she, it, we have to use with have. He has a lot of money. He doesn't have a lot of money. She has a lot of money. She doesn't have a lot of money. Okay? So when you use doesn't, you don't need to add as. Example, he falls. Affirmative. But in negative, he doesn't fall. We don't add as anymore because it is in negative. Remember, example, he opens the window. But in negative form, he doesn't open the window. We don't need to add as. Example, he loves you. He loves you. But in negative form, he doesn't love. He doesn't love you. He stays at a hotel. He doesn't stay at a hotel. Remember, in negative and in question. Also in question example, does he do homework? So does he do, not does he does. Okay, in question, so like I told you, does we use with he, right? We use with he, but in question you have to start with does he do, not does he does. Okay, in negative and in question you have to use the original form. You don't need to add anything or change anything, so you have to remember it. So now let's go to the example. So here there are 5 sentences that you have to read and then you have to choose, and they are very easy. Let's go to number 1. He goes to his hometown. So when the subject is third person singular, we use goes, not go, so we have to choose this one. And number 2, she has a lot of money. So because our subject is third person singular, we have to use has, right? You have to remember. How about if I say she doesn't here? She doesn't have, okay? But here there is no doesn't, it is an affirmative form, so we have to use has. She has a lot of money. Let's go to number 3. His girlfriend passes the exam. So his girlfriend here is a person singular, right? A girl, a woman. She passes the exam. So we have to circle this one. And number 4, Siêu Mỹ loves her parents. So Siêu Mỹ here is a name of a girl or a woman. So it is third person singular she. So you have to use here. We have to add s. If you don't add s, it is wrong. Let's go to the last one. He studies Chinese. So because he here is third person singular, we have to change. Because it ends with consonant plus y, we have to change y to ies. So this is the correct answer. Okay, so that is all about our third person singular, and see you again on Monday.